Final Fantasy XV was never good. Ignore all the bullshit reviews by game journalists who struggle with Cuphead and compare Crash Bandicoot to Dark Souls. This game is the definition of spectacle over content. Every clip I'm showing looks polished and cool, but as the player, I was bored out of my mind. I initially wanted to review this game, but I do this whole YouTube thing for fun, and playing 100 hours of bland, sleep-inducing gameplay is not fun. Gonna make some enemies with this one, but whatever. Here's a rant on why I dropped Final Fantasy XV. Let's start things off with the gameplay. The combat fucking plays itself. It requires hardly any effort and no thought whatsoever. Hold circle to do combos and completely take away any satisfaction of an action RPG. See an attack coming your way? Hold square to avoid all damage. It takes little MP away, but don't worry, you don't actually use that gauge for actual spells. It's really used to teleport around and attack, which is actually kinda cool, but when the remaining combat is so boring, it undermines any sense of fun. Every battle is chaotic because your team just fucks about and does their own thing. There's no strategy like in other Final Fantasies or JRPGs. Just hold down your button, wait for the occasional QuickTime event, and watch the action unfold. But God forbid you start a battle in an area with a few shrubs or a tree, because the camera hides behind that shit like a stalker. But at least the stalker peeks out from behind their hiding place to get a good fucking view of the action. The car drives itself too. Even when you pick manual for the driving, it still drives itself. Just hold R2 and Jesus or Sakaguchi or some shit takes the wheel. Why even bother including driving in your game if the freedom of driving around is stripped away? To be fair, you can skip the driving, but fast traveling costs gil, and my inner gaming Jew couldn't possibly spare the 10 units of fictional currency. There is also consumable spells. You heard that correctly. Hey, Square Enix, I'm gonna pull you aside really quick. You know you can have both standard magic spells and consumable items in the same game? The series has done it before, like, over 14 fucking times.
Your tips just got frosted, dude. Really? How's it look?
15 starts off with some appropriate foreshadowing on how much fun this game's gonna be. Noctis and the squad are pushing their broken car to get repaired. Yep. But maybe I'm being a little too kind. You actually get a sense of accomplishment and a workout from pushing your car to your destination. Something completely absent in Final Fantasy XV. The story is even more convoluted than other Final Fantasies because you're dropped in the middle of the plot without a clue of what the hell's happening. Our boy Sasuke Uchiha is a prince, but right before he gets married to an emperor's princess, the empire double-crosses them, and the king somehow saw this coming and didn't do anything to stop it, so instead he just sent them out on a meaningless task to get them away from trouble, but didn't think far enough ahead to figure out what the fuck to do after that. So now Sasuke and his homeboys, a black butler with brunette hair, Kronk from the Emperor's New Groove, and the Instagram boyfriend, have to find some old Magic King weapons because they'll stop the Empire, because they're really strong or something. I'd honestly stop playing if you couldn't tell. I will say the characters are better than the average Final Fantasy, but looking back at 13, I really hope they couldn't do any worse. But seriously, I only got through the first 6 or 7 chapters, but by then, I still wasn't hooked, and the shit gameplay really had me not looking forward to another 50 more hours of this.
You're not the only one who's having a tough time. We're all on edge.
And sure, why make a video about a year-old game? Honestly, I wish I could forget all about Final Fantasy XV, but Square Enix is still getting mileage from this and pimping FF15 out to literally anyone with money.
Actually, it just so happens I have my own costume right here. Look at me! I'm a legendary-esque!
And if you take something already delicious like cup noodles and add in the finest, freshest ingredients, what do you get? The ultimate flavor experience.
Hey, you got a bite? Oh yeah!
Going through all that trouble to make our own custom cup, it's made me appreciate cup noodles even more.
So yeah, I'm expecting at least a few more years of Final Fantasy XV. And the worst part is that all this corporate synergy that's going to be bombarding the masses for years to come won't even be based off of a good game. Well, that's it for this video. I hope you guys were at least somewhat entertained by my ranting about Final Fantasy 15. I know it was a little less scripted than how I normally do these videos, but still, I hope it was okay. Anyway, I'll be returning with the Persona 5 review and back to the normal format that I usually stick with. Feel free to tell me your thoughts on the game. I know I'm not the only one who hated it, but I'm sure there are some people who like these really slow types of RPGs that bore me to tears. You never know. Maybe I'm just missing the appeal that some people like about this game, or maybe I even missed an even larger flaw because I didn't play all the way through. Later.